Hey, what up? Back at it again with another video. Coming live from inside the NSX engine bay. Yep, you heard it. Oh, look at that. You can see it through that hole. Yep, we did it, fellas. Got this freaking motor out. Dang. Yeah, I don't even know where to start talking about that. So, basically, yeah, I just disconnected everything on the motor. Wire harness, exhaust, axles, everything you gotta disconnect to get the engine out. Then I used my quick jacks, and I basically lowered the car down super far. I built this little rig up. It's basically just a piece of redwood bridging these two dollies. And so yeah, I just dropped the oil pan down onto this board, and then disconnected the last two motor mounts, and I lifted the car up over the motor. Then here's a good explanation right here. So there's this cradle that kind of cradles the bottom of the engine for this car. I'll show you some pieces over there in a little bit, but so basically here's the top half of the cradle here. I had to remove that cradle on this side, and I was able to actually wheel. I mean, with this much space, I was able to wheel the motor out from underneath the car at max height. I even had to push or lift the quick jack up a little bit taller than the max height, just a tiny bit, just to get that little bit. And yeah, you have to take off the intake manifold garnish little cover piece, and then you also have to take off the alternator to get it to fit. But that was it. Yeah, surprisingly, honestly, nothing went wrong. Like, the only problem I had was that stupid freaking axle nut, which isn't really chassis specific, so I just had to deal with a stupid freaking axle nut. Other than that, axles came out cool. Nothing was really too tough. When I tried to drop it down the first time, I got caught up on the cradle. I thought I wasn't gonna have to remove it. And then yeah, I removed the cradle, and then yeah, it came down no problem. So a couple of things, I guess, to learn. If I ever do this in the future, like, I'm gonna have this down pat, dude, no problems. But there definitely are some things to learn. These screws that or these bolts that bolt in the upper control arms for the back, you got to be really careful with these. I was getting real close to being able to strip these because I had a lot of the weight of the hub carriers and everything hanging down, and these were the last ones to get, so I had a lot of the weight hanging onto these things, and man, yeah, super sketchy. Like, I almost made it so I couldn't get some of these bolts back in. I thought I had messed up some of the threads inside, but I'm good, thankfully. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. You can replace this little cradle piece, but I don't think I damaged anything, luckily. But if there was anything where, I would be more careful next time, definitely that would be the only major spot. I would disconnect the upper part of the control arms and then do the lower parts, I guess. So, but then again, I mean, yeah, I didn't ruin anything, didn't struggle on it too much, but, if I'm going to point out anything that was kind of a hassle, that would be one of them. I guess some other things would have been difficult if I just didn't have the right tools, but thankfully I have a really nice assortment of tools and little tricks and ways to get around stuff. I guess if I'm going to name anything that's pretty important is, if you're going to do any job that's going to just require like sockets and extensions, like, just get all of them, man. Get all of them. Like, I got these 3 sizes here, and you never know when you have to mix and match to create different lengths. If I use this short one and this like medium sized one, it's a different length than this long one altogether. And obviously you can do the short one, the medium. You can really mix and match, but having the ability to kind of go with different lengths on that really helped me out. I probably would have got stuck in a couple other little spots too if it wasn't for that. So got the rest of the exhaust off, and then yeah, this is all of like the suspension components and stuff. This is that other cradle side that I took off, and yeah, this is some OEM like heat shielding that goes in the engine bay. I'm thinking of doing like a little foil like heat tape or something on that thing. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, nothing too crazy except for these, dude. So I've always heard how restrictive these exhaust manifolds are. Dude, you have to be kidding me. These are so freaking tiny, dude. People have told me that upgrading the headers on an NA1 NSX will unlock like 20 horsepower. I could definitely see that. After taking these things out and seeing how dinky they are, it's like, I don't know if they were complying to the gentleman's agreement or what when they made this, but this definitely caused a serious bottleneck. But damn, man, to replace them, or not replace them, but to upgrade them to some nice headers, freaking expensive, dude. This whole freaking car is so expensive, man. Like every single component for it, it's like everything you need is like $600. Everything you want is $1,000. It's just how it goes for whatever reason. But yeah, no crazy collateral damage, no confusing, like strange, hard to get to stuff. Like this car, for the most part, I mean, it wants to be taken apart. And I'm really, I mean, you know, when I first had to get into all this, you're kind of bummed out that you even have to even do any of this crap. But you know, it's like in the future when I'm driving my car around, there's a lot less fog in the blueprints of the NSX in my mind. You know what I mean? It's like now when I drive around, I can actually like really think about every single component and how it's working and how it's connected. You know, any weird sounds or strange situations I get into, I'll be able to hopefully remedy the issues myself, knowing how to kind of dig into this car and stuff. But yeah, so that just happened. So the next steps now are going to be to get my transmission off. I'll probably try to do that this week. If not, I'll lag and do it next weekend or something. So I gotta take this mount off, get the tranny off, then I gotta get myself a cherry picker, get myself an engine stand and a crate and a truck. I gotta bring this thing out to a freight shipping place, and yeah, get this thing shipped out to Los Angeles so David and the other boys at HQ Engineering can rebuild this sucker for me. And then while that's happening, I'll be able to do a couple little extra things on the side, clean up my engine bay, probably ceramic coat some stuff that you'd never be able to. But yeah, I'll be able to come up with a couple little projects and little ideas while the motor is out, but I expect it'll probably be gone for a couple months. And yeah, I'll get it back and hopefully get some help, get some friends over to help me throw this thing into the car. Taking it out, I did it completely 100% on my own. Nobody helped me. And I'd like to think I can do the same thing with putting it back in, but I have the feeling it's just not smart. Like, I'm going to need some people's help. It's a big-ass engine. Like, that's the problem with this thing. Like, coming from the 4-cylinder game, it's like, dude, dropping this engine out, not gonna lie, heart was kind of beating. It's fucking a little stressful having something so fucking heavy, man. It's fucking 2 engines in one over here, dude. But, hey, it's out. Once it's out, you're like, alright, I guess it's not that big, but, jeez, dude. Definitely makes me miss my, K20 sometimes. But, I tell you, man, the sound effect that this motor gives you does not make me miss my K20. I could not live and have the NSX experience without fully having the NSX experience. You know, props to everyone that's doing K-swaps out there. Hit your track times, get this car on the map. you know, get people out there going, fuck, NSXs are fast again, you know, like, by all means, I want you to do it. But me personally, I'm trying to preserve the experience of driving an NSX around. That's originally what I wanted from the beginning, so yeah, don't really want to alter it too much from that. I'll finish up my exhaust system, and I'll get that little Science of Speed little intake tube to increase the audibleness of the intake there. But other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to reinforce some of the main internals that are likely to wear out quicker and see if I can't build this thing for reliability, and just try to get as much seat time as I possibly can out of this thing once I'm done. But I'm really happy that I'm keeping my motor. This thing's only got 115K on it, which is still just a baby. But you know, I want to put over 300,000 miles on this thing easily. If I can, 500,000. I just want to drive the fucking shit out of this thing. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. Definitely a hell of a lot closer than we were. So guess I'll leave my update there, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let me know if there is any videos you guys want me to make explaining any details on this. Kind of can't think of anything off the top of my head, but somehow I just did that, guys. So, yep, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cool. Peace.